What is good, guys and girls of YouTube? It is me, Justin Omoe, here, not with some chopstick on my lips, but I'm here with the video for you guys and girls to learn about mastering. Yes, it's been a while since I talked about mixing and mastering when it comes to how to do. The last video I made was about mixing your vocals. I didn't specifically talk about mixing all of your sounds, meaning like the kick, the snare and stuff, and I still didn't make that video. I might make it in the future after I teach about the DAW terminology, and that is when I'm going to release this video as well. Either this video or remake a new one just to have a new, better song. So yes, for this one, you must have donated to me to see this video, and if you did, thank you so much. If you didn't, you probably got the link from somebody else, which is, you know, I guess that's alright as long as you're still learning. That's what really matters the most, but, you know, donating, it really helps me out. And for everybody who did, honestly, thank you so much, because I've been working, making these videos, music videos and stuff, and YouTube, you know, they're still working out their ways, but as soon as, you know, time grows, everything will get better, and I'll be able to support my parents, well, my mom, and you know, work my way into actually getting my own place and such. It's not easy. It's not easy working on YouTube, okay? But yes, it's not about my life. It's about teaching you guys and girls about mastering and how to master. I'm specifically using FL Studio, but you could do this in any other DAW just as long as it provides the same, well, the similar plugins. So yes, what is mastering in the first place? So mastering is the process of taking your mixed song as a WAV, mixed song, and bringing out the best potential for it, as well as letting it be able to be heard in different types of mediums. Now, a medium is basically something you use to play your music. Basically, what are you using to play? Just like how there's a medium of solid, liquid, gas, air, water, gas, and such, there's different types of mediums. We have like cell phone, you know, you have a speaker in the back. We have a 3DS, which has speakers here, as well as a little headphone port, and it does play music. We have our computer, we got the Rocket speakers over here, even though these are direct monitors used mainly for music, like creating and not for playback. We have Beats by Dre somewhere, probably on the floor over there chilling. There's different styles and ways to listen to your music. So with mastering, it's going to let you be able to listen to all of the sounds clearly. Clearly meaning you could hear the bass inside of the speaker of this phone. Even though bass doesn't really show greatly in the phone, you could set the song, aka master the song, and people will be able to hear those frequencies. I'll talk about it in the video, hopefully. But yes, that is what mastering does. It brings the best potential out. So if you want an example, we're going to go on this song here.
Killing these people who stand up for evil and making their eyes concealed, cause
this
I
is
am
the
real,
mixer.
I am the truth. Spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth. You are shoes, either we tied or you lose. Pressing disease, you snooze, sleep on. Killing these people who stand up for evil and making their eyes concealed, cause I am real, I am the truth. Spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth. You are shoes.
So, alright, I'm gonna just cut it off there. That is what mastering is in comparison to mixing. And probably by this time you're like, wow, so much came out of that mix. It's crazy, because when you hear the mix itself, it's like, okay, that's cool, that's pretty. And then mastering it just blows everything out of proportion in a good way. So yes, that is what mastering is. And yeah, we are going to go ahead and show you, and by we I mean me, I don't know why I always say me. It is finally time to actually learn how to master your songs. One thing to really reflect on is you have to know what functions you are doing and what you are using in terms of increments, because when you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to create what you could draw. So yes, finally, without further ado, let's get into mastering. Let's go into the computer, and I'm going to show you guys and girls how to master your songs. This is the final Nimpo art technique to learn. Let's go. my back.
All right, guys, we are here at the final destination, the final process before having a very completed song. Okay, so here in this playlist, I have two files, all right? One is the mixed, which is this one right here, the standing higher mixed, and this one is called the standing higher master. I'm sure you understand what that means. Take note for master, this is a MP3 file and it is in 16 bits. And the mixed is in 32-bit float and it is a WAV file. You have to make sure it's a WAV file. And yeah, also note that I do have nothing in the beginning as well as nothing in the end, even more of a nothing. That is needed when it comes to having empty space, so the mastering would be better to actually work with. No sound gets left behind and such. So yes, one more thing to note is that the sound is, hitting a consistent level of around at least -6 decibels. It does go a little bit higher here, but this is where the filter kicks in and that's why, which is all right. But see, it's in constant at least around this level, -6 to -3. I'm guessing -7 here. But yes, this is how it sounds with, let me go ahead and take this off, put it back here. Cool. This is one more time a comparison.
That are coming to real life.
This is a mix.
People that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing higher.
All right, and then the mastered.
That are coming to real life. I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing higher.
All right, that is just one more time for comparison to show you what mastering really does. If you looked over here in these little visualizers, you'll see a great difference within the two. So yes, we are not going to deal with the master, so ignore this. Actually, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and mute it. I might as well just delete it, but no, I'll just keep it right there. You probably won't even see it anyways. So yes, take note that the final mastering, this one down here, I just said I wasn't going to show it, but I showed it. That is actually through wave plugins. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it without waves. Even though the majority was still FL Studio, I use things like Karma Tape Stereo, meaning, stereo sounds. For a saturization, we use Max Bass for a bass enhancer, as well as a S1 imager for stereo imaging, even though, it's not needed. That's what I did with the song. As a matter of fact, I will pop it into this one, to the waves, and turn off the master. And yeah, you'll hear it sounds mastered. All right, so one more thing. This is how it would sound with the effects on.
That are coming to real life. I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground.
It's very similar to this one right here.
That are coming to real life. I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground.
As a matter of fact, it is the same, presets and everything that is used. The only reason why the mastered one, this one here, sounds a bit different is because it went into 16 bits and we compressed it with the MP3. So yes, finally, stop talking. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to master using FL Studio's, insert plugins. So you see the whole thing here. I'm going to talk about it as well as show you what to do. So yes, notice my master track is here, but I'm using the wave candies as well as a way to record my vocals. I'm not sure why it's showing, but I'm using a separate insert for my master. It's on the left side here. When you are mastering, you have to put your inserts into the master. That way everything will be included. But because for me, I have to use a FL mastering. Matter of fact, I could have just put it in the mix song. But yeah. So yes, just make sure these are in your master slot when you're mastering. For me, I gotta put it in here. All right. So first and foremost, we are going to go ahead and use Fruity Parametric EQ2. Now, what are we doing with a EQ in the beginning? We are currently going to go ahead and cut off frequencies that are unnecessary. So if you right click here, go into the preset mastering, 20 hertz plus 18 hertz cut. Now what this will do is set up parameters so it rolls off at 20 hertz. So this one's technically, 20 hertz, as well as over here, which is 18 kilohertz. You could shift this around to 2K or whatever. Basically leave it around the 18. That way when it rolls off, the higher pitches won't, blast out. The normal human hearing is from 20 hertz, which is all the way down here, to 20K, which is 20,000 hertz. But we are just trimming off the 18 for now, rolling off. Notice it doesn't hit 0 until it's over at the end here, 20 hertz, 20K hertz. So yes, that is the first thing to do. Like I said, this is to cut off unnecessary sounds. If there's sounds in the down over here by the 10 hertz or whatever and it's playing, it will show as a level even though you can't hear it, depending on what ear quality you have as well as headphones to transduce the sound coming back to you. All right, that is the first thing. Next up, we are going to use a WaveShaper. Now, what a WaveShaper does is really distort your sounds. It's pretty funny because, why are we trying to distort our sound? Well, when it comes to music, we really want to have a realistic sound, a real feeling of a style of a sound. And one thing that goes through this is having something called Saturization, which is basically tube-like amplifier feelings. In other words, it has to have that analog feel. Analog is basically not digital, if that makes sense to you. Real sound feeling. Now for WaveShaper, we are going to do something similar. Right click, go to something called Saturation, Soft Saturization, and bam. What this does is basically tweak the sound to make it sound saturized. If we go ahead and hit play, the effect is off, but if we put it on, you will hear it might be a little bit too loud. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put it down first, turn on the effect, and then raise it up.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn.
Oh, I forgot again to turn on that. Let me just turn this off and just hide this. Since you guys don't want to see this, move it to the right. Dock to the right. Yeah, it's gone. Okay, so one more time. Let's do this.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing high. Killing these people who stand up.
So yes, I'm sure you understand it gets soft and it sounds very weird at that point. That's basically saturization. We want it so it creates an analog sound. We could shape the mix to make it not as saturized, like right here, we put it like that. We could even use the mix over here, but just to make it nice, we're gonna do that.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the.
Cool. Notice how the line was over here. That means it's hitting just that limit for now. So yeah, that is the second step, saturization. Next up, we have something called bass enhancement. Now, what bass enhancement is basically making the bass more audible to hear on like a higher hertz frequencies. So we are using Fruity Bass Boost for this process. It might sound weird because boosting the bass will kind of like ultimately boom your song, make it sound super fat. But the thing we're doing with this is just, give it more to be able to be heard on cell phones and cheap headphone earbuds and such. Now, since we could only go up to around 100 hertz or so,
I'd say we have to boost it up around here. And let's turn the amount down for now. And what we are going to do is basically listen to the song and see what feels good around the, higher hertz. So that way we can hear it on our earbuds and yeah.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn.
So notice when I put it all the way up, it makes so much bass. Take note, do not overdo it, because what happens in the end is that we are going to bring all of the sounds up, and what will happen is the bass will go up. So that could destroy your sound. Just make sure you find a right, good, nice level to your song.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing higher. Killing these people who stand up for evil and making.
Okay, I'm feeling around here, over 94. Basically anywhere from 80 to 100, that'll be nice in your favor. But yes. That is it. We are just basically boosting the bass so people can hear it even better for different mediums. Next up, we have something that will make your song sound like a brand new song. This is an exciter. Now, exciter basically alter the the frequencies to make the song sound brighter. This will definitely raise the higher end vocal frequencies. All right, so when we do this, you'll hear definitely a change. It's gonna make the song sound brighter, basically. I'm gonna put it all the way down. I like to use preset A, so yeah, notice the difference.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the.
So yes, as you saw, a big difference. Again, we do not want to overdo it. Otherwise, it'll come out really bad in the end. Just find a suitable, nice, clear position for your song. I usually aim within 1 to 25. It could be, over here, but nah. 1 to 25% the most.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing higher.
Okay, I'm feeling this position right here, like 26. So yeah. So once again, exciter, this will bring up the song to make it sound brighter. This is to excite the sound, make it sound kind of crisp feeling. Matter of fact, in my vocal track, I use that, and it's over here. But if I boost it up, make it sound really crisp, it's kind of too crisp. So yes, just a little something. Okay, next up, we have a compressor. Now, for this process, I'm going to go ahead and double-click the wave candy and bring it here so you can see and understand what I'm trying to say when I show you the compressing. So as I play the song, we are going to look for around like a meter where the song kind of averages above, in between. So it might be like an 8 or something. We'll see. I'm going to hit play and show you.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing higher. Killing these people who.
Okay, so I'm finding around 8 decibels. That's where the song like averagely hits the, it's constantly around 8 decibels, even if it goes all the way down and up. Again, this is where it usually hits upon. So I'm gonna play it one more time and look over here on this line and notice that the song is always around not boosting, but going surpass that level. I'm gonna hit play.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the.
Cool. So as you see, it goes past -8 and it goes, varies within this range, -8 to -1. And yes. So what compressing does at this point after the exciter, this is basically going to glue our song and make it like fit, make it hold onto each other, the frequencies. If you don't understand, just think about it like gluing back a piece of wood to a broken fence or something. It's kind of like holding it together. I'll talk about why afterwards, but yes. Okay, so like I said, it feels like it's around -8 where the song is constantly at. We don't want to go all the way at -8, somewhere along the lines, because if we overdo it, it'll be overglued and it'll be kind of harder to work with when it comes to the multi-band compression, which we'll talk about, of course, later. So I'm feeling around 6.1 would be a nice level. You know what? I'm gonna be fancy. 6.0. And yes, this is going to compress the song by when it hits 6.0, it'll push down the sounds towards -8 decibels. Now, how are we going to do this? We are going to use a ratio. So basically, I put it to 2 to 1. So every 2 decibel that comes out after the threshold, which will be up here, it's going to compress it to 1. So meaning instead of it hitting here, it'll go down here. It's going to squish the vocals. Ow, I kicked the mic. Okay. You could always tweak it to something like 3 to 1, 3.5, 5, however intense your song could be or get. It depends on the style you are feeling. So for this point right now, I'm going to put it 2 to 1. I might raise it to 3 to 1 if anything. And yes, gain, don't touch that. Do not touch. I said don't touch that knob. All right. If we use the gain, it will alter the whole song input after we compress it, which is something we do not want. There might be a rare case where you'll have to, but in this case, no. The only case I would say is if your song is just ultimately low. It's like super low in the -13 decibel range, which is poor mixing in my opinion. But yes. Attack. For attack, we do not want it to be like over here, super, long. Because if we do that, the whole point of the compression won't be in effect. Now, yeah. Attack is going to be something quick. We don't want it too quick either because it could mess up the sound. For now, I'll leave it on 15. I might bump it up to like 30, 45. No, maybe 30. And yeah. Release, that's okay because that's at the end. And you don't really have to tweak it a lot. If anything, I'd say leave it around the default. If you want, you could even shorten it. Not shorten it, my bad. You could raise it up a bit. But yes, I like to keep these around there. And type, this is compression type. It gives you different styles, different feelings. So find what kind of feeling you like. My favorite is the medium R. So yeah. Yeah, this is just the compression field type. It's basically different types of curves that applies. So hard would be like a hard curve, a soft curve. Vintage would be like old school type curve type compression. And yes, R means, what does R mean again? Soft. I believe R means soft. So yes, I'm going to hit play and you're going to notice the difference. I'm going to turn it on and off so you can see.
Life, I got people that just want to steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing high. Killing these people who stand up for evil and making their eyes concealed because I am real.
All right, cool. As I hit on and off, you probably would have noticed that it sounds a little bit more inside feeling. If you didn't hear that, then I guess I'll do a little over thresholding so you can see. So I'm gonna hit play.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire.
So notice how the song feels really squished at that point when I put it at -60. So yes, I'm gonna put it back up.
Life, I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let
All right. If anything, we could probably drop it to like 7 or 6.8, whatever. Just don't overdo it again because it could stick too hard. All right. Next up, we have stereo enhancer. Now, stereo enhancer enhances the stereo field. That's pretty, you know, a given. Now, notice here we have something called Wave Candy. This is a vector scope. This will show you the bands for left and right from the front and the back feeling. Positive, negative. Now, what stereo enhancer does is enhance the stereo field to make your song sound more open, more outwards, rather than flat in the middle. Because listen to my vocals. If I speak like this right now, as a matter of fact, take off the reverb, listen to how my vocals sound right in the middle. But if I turn this on and fix back the stereo separation, you'll notice that my voice feels more outwards. That is what stereo separation does if you do not know what it is. So yes, back to FL mastering. I'm going to show you how it sounds with and without it. For this, we are only going to mess with the stereo separation knob. Even though there is one over here, stereo separation, which is an onboard one, you could use this, but because of the process, the signal flow, meaning that this goes before the compression, we are going to have to use this in the effects slot. You could open it up in the end, but that could risk having like over 0 decibels. So yeah, I'll show you that in the ending. So yes, once again, stereo enhancer opens up the field. We don't want to do too much, but yes. Stereo separation, plus is opening, minus is merging. Don't worry about it saying left or right, because that's not, you know, going to left and right. That's what phase offset does, which, by the way, do not touch it again. That, let me show you. That's why you don't touch it. You rather use a stereo separation.
I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive.
So yes, notice once again when we put it on merge, the vector scope, I hope you can see it, it goes inwards.
I got people that just wanna steal
where if we open it up,
let them burn to the ground alive.
Notice how it goes left and right. We want it to be at least, you know, comfortable. Put it right here.
I got people that just wanna steal my fire. Let them burn to the ground alive. Let the world know I'm only standing high.
So yes, depending on how open you want your song to sound, if you're in like a super fantasy field, and yeah, that depends. So find what fits your ear the most. And of course, like I said, do not overdo it. I like to beat that into your brain. Do not overdo it to what it sounds like for now, the moment. Because again, one more time, I'm going to say it. In the end, we are going to bring all the sounds up, and that could affect your output. So yes, next we have Fruity Multiband Compressor. This looks like havoc, doesn't it? Don't worry, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it does, and basically this times 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3 times 3. So yes, starting at the first and foremost thing, located here, IIR and FIR. We want this to be on FIR. So yes, IIR is Butterworth's filter. If you don't understand what that is, that's basically a filter that, what's his name? Steven Butterworth or Steve? It's a filter that he made when it comes to compression. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't show it. But the curve, look at my paintbrush here. The curve would be like, whoop. I hope you see my, oh man, I almost freaked out for a second. I thought you couldn't see my mouse. But yes, okay. Like I was saying, the Butterworth filter, the IIR, it'll be like a curve like this. Notice my paintbrush. It's like an S shape, I guess. It's smooth, and it's something that you do not want when it comes to mastering. what you do want in mastering is FIR, which my bad. FIR, which stands for linear. Don't ask me what FIR the letters stand for. Maybe filter in right. I don't know. But FIR is a linear. So of course linear, it goes straight. With music, if you don't know, it is very linear, and we need it when it comes to mastering. If we use the Butterworths, it will not come out sounding right, nice. The compression won't be how you want it to compress. As a matter of fact, sometimes I even question why this is here. But then again, it is there for, you know, a reason. But for mastering, we are using FIR. I had to beat that down into your brain. And yeah. Now notice here, you'll see some curve, some lines. Most of the times you don't even have to touch it. Yeah, you don't have to worry about this. If you want, you could. This is basically how much of bass section we are going to gain. The low band. The middle is the mid, and the blue one is the high band. High. So yes, with these three bands, we are going to use each a compressor. So this is one compressor, this is the next, this is the third one. Let me go ahead and turn this on. If you cannot see the lines that you want to master, because when you hit play, I'm gonna hit play.
I got people that just want.
So yeah, notice how when you play, it shows the frequencies. But if you turn the speed off, you'll be able to see this.
I got people that just wanna steal my fire.
So yes, one thing to note is just to make sure that you are always cross-fading between the two frequencies. Otherwise, you'll have sounds that are not compressed, like this piece right here where nothing is there. Oh, what the hell? So yeah, let me just put this back to default. Cool, FIR. And yes, as we've spoken about with compression, when it comes to the compressor over here, it's the same thing except for each band, multi-band compressor. So yes, my process, I'd say start with the bass. So we're gonna go ahead and press M, which stands for mute. A means active and B means bypass. What bypass is basically do without the effect, which is something that we do not really want when it comes to mastering. So yeah, make sure all of them are at A in the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. Cool. Now notice the red line. This red line indicates the amount of compression. Like we said again, compression with the threshold. Right here. We're gonna want to compress our sound to how we fit it. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and compress this real quick. Cool. Threshold, I raised up to about 13 decibels. Remember 13 here? So yeah, see 13. We could drop it to 15, but yes. Ratio, again, it's how many decibels we are going to like compress, convert. Compress. Compress is the right word. For bass, we could go as high as, well, not infinity. Let's not do that. We could go, you know, up to big numbers like 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 7, 11. I'm thirsty. But yes, I'm gonna just stick with something around 4.5. I don't know. We're gonna work it out. Okay. Now the knee is the same thing as the compressor's type. It just changes off the way the vocals sound. Matter of fact, in the limiter, we have an option called knee. And when I move this, look, this is what the knee is basically. See, it's waving high. So yes, I believe it was around here for mine. That's what it is. I need water. Anyways, that's what it is. So make sure you tweak it to how you feel it. And yeah. Cool. Now for bass, because it is a fat sound, we want to have the attack fade in. Usually around like say 40, maybe 80 hertz, not hertz, milliseconds. Those are ideal for bass when it comes to bass. And yeah, release, we could bump it up even higher. It's not too much of a problem, but yeah. For bass, higher is kind of better. I'ma put it at 46. All right, I'm feeling that. Let me just switch around to a different position. I'm put it right here. Cool. Now, because we compressed our sound, we do want to bring some gain back into it. Now, gain is different from volume for those you guys and girls who don't understand. Volume is something to do after you do all the processing, which, you know, for example, here we have the volume fader. This is after the effects come in. Gain is something to do with the signal when you are bringing it in. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and just boost a little bit of gains. Sometimes you might feel like you're going to overdo something, and I do that sometimes. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest as well. All right, I like that feeling. I'm going to hit mute, then I'm going to go into the A. Cool. Now for mid, because your vocals is mainly here, and something about vocals, you cannot really compress over 2:1 ratio. Otherwise, it'll start sounding kind of weird. In this case, we could, you know, trip over the levels a little bit because this is after the song is made. It might sound, you know, unnatural. For me, I don't really go above it or below it. I just stick around 2. We could even bump it like 2.4 or whatever, just to be safe. But yes, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the bass over here in my favor. Except for the attack could be less. Release could be less as well. Since these sounds are in the higher proportions. These are around, let me see this. What is this band here? Yeah, this is around 300 and above. Usually, 0 to 300, those are known as waves, and then 300 and above, or 400 and above, those are like rays. The reason being is because the sound as waves go higher, the wave shape will become more and more closed in. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and do that. I mean me. So yeah. Notice again.
Let them all burn. Even if I died, there wasn't a bad concern. So why would I care? Cause you was never there. Cause everything I made, you never even shared. It was only one click. A circle was formed, and I'm the only one inside of it. Cause you left me relinquished, left me idle. Now I got 1,000 eyes on me like I fused with the idol. I feel sympathy towards Dido. Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I have you can't handle. Pinky holds more than Earth's mantle. Support the boy instead of just passing by. Otherwise, when you wave, he'll pass you by. You only had one shot, but you purposely lose it. Now he's pushing you away, telling you to move it. Move it, yeah, you better move it.
Let's get back.
He's standing high, yeah. Killing these people who stand up for evil.
Now, in the high end, it sounds like a whole bunch of rambunctious sounds. Like, what the heck is these static feelings? But this does so much into the song, you can't even, you know, understand it. I'm gonna hit play. Notice how the sounds are all the way down here under 17. You don't want to really overdo it because remember, wave sounds, as it goes higher, the sound goes kind of smaller. And yeah, I'll do what I do with this one. The ratio could be, you know, all the way up here if you wish. Not infinity, but, you know, it could go high as well. since it doesn't have to do with the vocals too much. But don't overdo it. Oh, I forgot. I just bumped that a little bit. Okay, again, I'm looking over here. Yeah, I'm seeing like 26. Oh yeah. By the way, I just hit bypass. That way, the effect, the compression doesn't go in, so I could look at the Wave Candy's decibel meter to see for a good, average spot. So I'm gonna hit active again. Attack, we don't have to do too much. Release neither. We don't have to overdo that. All right. That is really doing a lot of compression, but that's okay. Let me check the out real quick. If you click this little button here, it shows in and out. Out is after decompression. In is when it's going in. Yeah, I'm liking here this amount because it's the same as the in some sense. Yeah. Okay, once that is done, we could go ahead and put them all back to active. Put on mute. Let me just show you.
Making the eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth. Spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my.
I'm gonna load this down actually.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making the eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth. Spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth.
Cool. So that is it with multi-band compression. This is kind of like one of the major things you have to do that decides the end. And yeah, speaking of end, we are almost at the end. Next up, we have a Parametric EQ2. This is to do any emergency frequency boosting. Basically, if you want to set a tone or a feel, you could go ahead and alter these frequencies. So I'm gonna hit play.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making the eyes conceal, cause I am.
And yeah, if I click this little arrow and go to high precision monitor, it'll do like over sampling feel. Basically, you'll see more force.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making the eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth.
So when I'm listening to this song, I see there's not much of a middle piece, a mid piece when it comes to intensity of red, which is the spectrum. So I think maybe we could boost that up a little bit. And by little bit, I mean really a little bit. Of course, you could go, cuckoo crazy, but that's going to really screw your song up. And I swear it will. But yes, these are subtle little pieces to, boost up and down.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making the eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth. Spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth.
Now notice if I do this.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil.
It does sound nice, but after, again, in the end, it will overdo it. I might as well show you an example at the end. But yes. And you could go a little bit bass crazy here at this point as well, too.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil.
But not too much. So I'm going to basically put a little bit high. Right? Like that. Cool.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making the eyes.
If I turn it off and on, you'll hear the difference. Let's do the compression first.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making the eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth. Spitting so.
So with the compression, you can hear a lot of difference in the bass itself. Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making their eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth, spitting so hard in the.
And with the EQ,
standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making their eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth, spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth.
So this gave more of a middle section feel, the tone. And yep, all right, almost done. We are at the portion where we are doing the soft clipping and limiting. Now, soft clipper is something that we're going to use to clip unneeded sounds. It would be better if I show you the GVST's G clip, because that is what I use more than this one. But in this case, we could use the soft clipper for like an example. As a matter of fact, can I? No, I can't stretch this out. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and show you what we could do with this. So if I turn on both the limiter and the compressor, the soft clipper, we could see, if we line this up nicely, the waveform. I'm going to hit play.
Standing high, killing these people.
So look at this.
For evil, I'm making their eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth, spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth. You are shoes, either we tied or you lose. Pressing the.
Notice how the sound is kind of squished up a little bit and is shortened.
Standing high, killing these
in
people
comparison
for
to this.
evil, I'm making their eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth.
So you see how the waveform is here and it hits the top here. But when we did drop the threshold, it did help keep this the whatchamacallit, the word, the waveforms clipped inwards. So we could use this to clip the sounds, and then we could use the limiter to bring the song to the fullest potential. So I'm gonna hit this again.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making their eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth, spitting so hard that I puncture my mic with my tooth. You are shoes, either we tied or you lose. Pressing disease, you snooze. Sleep on the homie, you niggas are phony. You never supported me, now look where I be. Now I am buzzing for creating the honey. All you ever did was laugh like it's funny. Save my laugh for the bank with my money. Glad that I got you fakers in check. Been planning 3 steps ahead like his chest.
Cool. It looks good like this. Honestly, like I said, let me bring this back up. Back from the past. G-Clip, it's a free VST plugin that you can use to master your songs. It's just like the soft clipper, except it does hard clipping, which means it goes very like hard cutting, and soft, which is a curve. I really like using GVST's G-Clip more than this. Since it is free, it's something you could get for free. But yes, in this example, I'm using soft clipper because we are using all FL Studio's plugins. So yes.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making the eye.
Last but not least, we have the final process called limiter. The limiting brings the song back to its fullest potential.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil.
So notice how this song, the max peak for now is around here. With limiting, we are going to bring this up to the 0 decibel level. Again, look at Wave Candy.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making their eyes conceal, cause I am real.
See, it hits about -4 decibels, the max at this point of the song. We are going to use the limiter to bring the gain. Again, remember, gain is the amount of the signal that's coming in. So it's not volume. We're bringing the gain up. All right, so we are going to have to use the gain to bring the signal up to the highest peak over here, not above this line.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil. I'm making their eyes conceal, cause I am real. I am the truth, spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth. You are shoes, either we tied or you lose. Pressing disease, you snooze.
All right, cool. Now notice that there are some little lines up here. This is lines of compression.
basically when it hits over this line, which is called the ceiling. I said cell. My dumb man. But yes, when it goes over the ceiling, it will compress. That is all right because compression will not distort your sound in the end. Let me bring this one up so it has, you know, its chance to shine. Spectrum, yeah, audio scope. Cool. So if I hit play,
standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil and making their eyes conceal. Cause I am real, I am the truth. Spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth.
All right, so for the kicks, look at the sound wave and if it squares up nicely.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil and making their eyes conceal. Cause I am real, I am
cool. If we bring the gain higher, you're gonna see a lot of squares. So yes, watch your ears just in case.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil and making their eyes conceal. Cause I am real, I am the truth.
Notice how these sounds, it looked like a line like this. It goes up and it does squiggle, 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 and then it goes back down. That is really bad. Yeah, right here. If you see right here, goes down, up, squiggle, 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 down. That's not good. So yes, make sure your limiting goes to the ceiling.
Standing high, killing these people who stand up for evil and making their eyes conceal. Cause I am real, I am the truth. Spitting so hard in the booth that I puncture my mic with my tooth. You are shoes, either we tied or you lose. Pressing disease, you snooze. Sleep on the homie, you niggas are phony. You never supported me, now look where I be.
Yep, now look where I be. Nah, but serious. That is how you do it. Now, remember back here, we have that high peak in accordance to over here where there's not that much of a high peak. We have to take that into consideration as well. Let's hear that part.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I have you can't handle. Pinky holds more than Earth's mantle. Support the boy instead of just passing by. Otherwise when you wave he'll pass you by. You only had one shot but you purposely lose it. Now he's pushing you away telling you to move it. Move it.
Cool. It is almost perfect. Now some of you might be confused as to wait, what? Why didn't it go high? Why didn't it compress higher like over here? And that's because every other thing here before we did to reduce the sound, not to make it sound as super high. So we just basically mastered out a song. We don't really want to deal with these onboard mixers right here. Not mixer, frequency equalizer, my dumb man. As well as the stereo separation. We could toggle this just a little bit. But if we do, it could, you know, affect the song overall and go over 0 decibels. I'm gonna hit play and show you.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I have you can't handle. Pinky holds more than Earth's mantle.
See how when I tweaked it open, it went into the yellow, which is over 0 decibels. That could be a little bit bad. It could be a little bit good, but try not to.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I have you can't handle. Pinky holds more than Earth's mantle. Support the boy instead of just passing by.
Yeah, this basically gives more of a open space to what we already have. But again, we do not need that because we already did it earlier in the song with the stereo enhancer. And then we brought the sounds up. As you notice, it went from here to here. We boosted this up 5.5 decibels, 5.4 decibels. So yes, that is what I meant by we'll bring it all up in the end.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I have you can't handle. Pink.
Okay, that is basically it. But remember, once we are done with all the processing, we could go back and tweak some sounds. So in this case, I hear a lot of bass.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura.
So we could lower the amount or change the frequency.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I. Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I have you can't handle. Pinky hold. Sorta.
All right. Don't forget, there's also bass in the Parametric EQ. We went a little bit too much with that.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I.
Okay. And then we have the multi-band.
Sorta like how your knees feel with the gravel. Mount to aura I have you can't handle. Pinky holds more than Earth's mantle. Support the boy instead of just passing by. Otherwise when you wave he'll pass you by. You only had one shot but you purposely lose it. Now he's pushing you away telling you to move it.
Alright. And that sounds a lot better than how I just had it. So yes, we just went through like almost an hour or something like that for mastering, which is amazing. Matter of fact, F11, yeah, 1 hour and 23 minutes I spent on this, but I probably, you know, took more time to set it up. Anyways, this is mastering.
That was a cup well deserved. Let me move that out of the picture. And that is it. That is how you master your song. That is how you make it sound superb, amazing. That was like my final ultimate technique spirit bomb that I had. You know, it's like the final thing I could teach you guys and girls when it comes to making your music. But don't worry, that is not the only thing that comes when it comes to music. That is not only the final process, but everything else that has to do with music has to do, you know, with the mastering in the end, which you probably do not know about if you are, you know, just like YouTubing and learning. There's a lot of things. There's music theory, there's composition, there's performance, there's knowing limitations when it comes to instruments, there's separation when it comes to instruments, putting everything away. So don't think that just because you know mastering, you know it all in music. Just you know, something to say. But yes, that is how you master your song. Hopefully you guys and girls enjoyed your popcorn while you're listening to this. And yeah, what else could I say? Mastering, that's the final part. Of course, after you master your song, there's still things to do, such as ID3 tagging your song, which is basically editing the labels, your image. If you wish, you could put in your lyrics, your website, so people, when they click on it, it'll show the website on their iPod or iTunes or whatever medium they're playing. It will, you know, show in their song. And yes, that's it. I feel like I have nothing else to say. I don't know, I'm honestly speechless. I don't really know what to say other than thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for taking your time to watch my videos, for supporting me, for doing everything. It really means the most. I hope with this, you guys and girls could pull out your full potential and make yourself, you know, like the best you could ever be when it comes to your music. Don't give up. And yeah, thanks for watching my video. I know it's been an hour-long video, but don't worry, there's still loads of content, and there's still so much to learn when it comes to music. Mastering, yes, it is the final process, but there's still everything to do before the mastering, such as mixing, as some of you should already know since you're watching this video, as well as instrumentation, knowing scales, music theory, how to compose, how to do this, how to do that, how to make a sound analog, how to make it, you know, so much things that's still around. Performance, vocal like styles, so much things. So always be sure to stick around and watch my channel, be able to support me, you know, watch the videos, leave a comment if you like. And yeah, I really am speechless because it feels like I gave out my, you know, final thing. Thank you all for watching this video. Thank you for donating. If you donated before this video came out, I'm deciding I'm gonna make this video still even after the donation. But yes, thank you. My name is Justin Omoe. Like this video if you really like it. I'm sure you already subscribed to me if you've seen this video. So if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to my videos, my channel, because I be putting out videos like this every single day. Well, not every single day, but every single week. Gosh, see, I'm twisted. I don't even know what else to say. Thank you all for, you know, yeah. Follow me at Twitter if you want. Twitter at OMOI1993. It's right here. Facebook, like page, Instagram, whatever. Everything is in the description. And yes, one more time I'm going to say this. Thank you all for watching my videos. And yeah, grow the best you could be. My name is Justin Omoe. The show is always going. The grind is still rolling. The ball is still rolling. The grind keeps on grinding. And I'm going to stand higher. Everything's going to go, you know, ultimate. And yeah. Project will be in the description. I chose to put the project in the description. So yes. Thank you all for watching. My name is Justin Amoe. There's always more to come. And I'm going to keep snapping. Peace.